Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So today there's a new patch 10.1 and I wanted to go into the cards that were affected by the patch, the ones that are going to be seeing some changes and build decks around that before we get into some of the more experimental stuff during the season. So today I'm going to have Invigorate. The leader ability got a rework, so this one now, instead of having 2 charges with 5 boosts that you can lay within your hand, it's going to have 3 charges with 4 boosts. I believe that's indirectly a buff because it plays well into the whole torque combination and really distributing hand buffs throughout our deck. We get the extra time of doing it, and that just means torque will do it again. So it makes a lot of difference here. It did get a provision nerf by 1, but I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference here. And I think that this is probably the greediest hand buff version you've maybe ever seen, but it's certainly the most greediest one that I've ever played. So what we have here is, I was going to put enchanted armor in. I think for this time around I'm going to pass because boosting a unit in hand by 3, giving it 2 armor is really intriguing, right? We want to boost torque and get the second boost from it. I feel like we need to keep some cards alive. So Dunka and Hawk Smuggler are a couple examples of things that we want to keep going on the playing field. Otherwise, we lose out on a lot of other hand buffs. So for that reason, I went with the tactical advantage to get the most points there and to get everything protected that we put on the board. But you can opt and switch that. Now, I think Phil is back. I think Phil is going to have a really good reason to play in this deck right here. So we were able to create and play a special card with a provision cost equal to the unit's power, or equal or lower to the unit's power. So if we have this in hand, we can obviously boost it up as high as 12. We can play a nature card like the Water Sabrocalon, or we can look for something like a Bountiful Harvest, right? Playing a Bountiful Harvest is pretty good because it gives more hand buffs, so it helps continue cycling that out there, and I think that's a really good value. We have Simlas Fin. I think that this is just one of those cards that you want to have with scoia'tael still, like an auto include. We're going to be pulling in more than likely the Bountiful Harvest here, or the Circles of Life, because both of them are going to create hand buffs, and that's really important for us there. And worst case scenario, we could pull into more control with something like the Nature's Rebukes. So we have those options. Forest Protector is going to be going back and replaying one of our special cards, so we can opt to go for maybe another Bountiful Harvest, or we can go for another Circle of Life. You know, primarily, if we want to play more control, we need to remove more engines, sure, we can go in for a Nature's Rebuke, and that's just fine as well. But again, it's all about cycling those bountifuls more than likely. So we have Call of the Forest. Call of the Forest is great because it's going to help pull something that we're missing that we really need. We're obviously going to be starting each game with Torque in hand because we're playing Devotion, but we have to get our Simlas, we have to get our Phila, we have to get a lot of these top-end cards here, you know what I mean? And it makes a big difference. Aglaeus could play for a lot of points too. We want to have Aglaeus in hand so we can start working on it. We don't really want to have Aglaeus in deck, so it's one of those cards that could pay off drastically. It could fail, but again, we're playing a greedy deck here, so it is what it is, right? Now, Sursa got a bit of a rework here, so deploy damage an enemy unit by 2, and then boost a random unit in your hand by 2. So that's something that they added. Before it was only on Death Blow, so now I believe this card has some merit. The fact that it has a Harmony tag, and we're playing, we have Elves here, right? Elf Mage, we have, so that's 2, right? Elves, Mage, we have Relic, we've got Human, we've got Dwarf, right? So there's a few procs that we're going to be getting on this, but of course, obviously being able to choose the unit we boost in hand, being Torque and getting more boost, it makes the card have some really good value. So that's why we have it in there. Dunka for the sheer carryover to the big boosts in hand, and of course the order to be able to damage something by 3, maybe to help ping something down for Sursa to finish the job. It's a great combo when you pair them together like that. We talked about Bountiful. Bountifuls, we can look at creating more Blathanas to create more Bountifuls, and the cycle goes and continues, right? I have a couple things in the deck, one of them actually being these miners, right? So the miners are going to help the sorceresses stay at a power that we can create Bountifuls. It's also going to help, if we need it, the Pyrotech to keep the armor so we're not taking damage to ourselves. It's going to help the defenders if they damage these and they lose their engine value. They're not able to keep boosting every turn because they're not boosted. This is going to turn that back online. And then we have, of course, these that we could put on the board and just not use yet. You know, if we want to play Aglaeus from hand, give it that extra couple boosts, and I believe it works that way, right? Because on turn end, double the amount of boosts on self, so it's huge. And that's pretty much it. The deck's full circle here. Get it? But basically, one more card I want to talk about before we get into it. Now seeing it in action here, it's really impressive. So boost an ally unit in your hand by 1. If that unit was already boosted, boost it by 3 instead. So we're going to get huge, phenomenal value from this onto the torque, right? So we're boosting it by 3. And then this is giving 3. And then this is 3. Like, it's tons of value for something that's 4 provision. And I think that in its own is going to make this deck a lot stronger than you might think. So let's get into the games for today, and I might not be doing as many games as normal because there's so many ideas going through my head for different decks I want to do, and I want to get them out to you as soon as possible so you can play them on day 1. So I might do 3 games or 4 games, but sure enough, we'll get back to like the 6 games plus sort of thing once I calm down and have a chance to play different things. So let's get into it here. And if you guys like the content that you see, don't forget to subscribe. We're nearly at 3,500 subscribers on YouTube, and we're pushing hard, so let's make it happen before the end of the month. Alright, and for the first game we got Ursine Ritual. I'm thinking this is probably going to be Lippy. You know, I actually don't mind that we go first here. Aglaeus in hand's perfect. These in hand is perfect. Problem is we don't want to spend a lot in our hand here. We'll dump back Bountiful Harvest because we have Simlas. Keep this because I think it's just fair. Dump this back, it's fine. And that's probably going to be the way here. So we want to take 1 charge in round 1. And we want to take... There we go. Just so that we get everything started here. And I think the only fair thing to do is we turn this engine on here because we got to start getting some value, getting some carryover to get out of the round, right? This is probably just Lippy, right? Now, I think we take Simlas and we start going into the Bountifuls. We need some tempo to get out of the round. This will probably be the most. We're not really getting the ideal picks here, but... Would have been really nice if we can get some carryover, like from one of these, right? Dunka would be great. Hawk Smuggler would be great. So yeah, it's looking pretty Lippy to me. I think I have to roll into the Bountiful. I'm really not getting the cards I need here, so we'll take this for the sure points. And we'll go ahead and we'll boost up that one. And I think with 30 we should be able to pass. I would hope so. The discard package is pretty wild, you know? It's like 20, 24. If they play Coral, we're in trouble. Or sorry, not Coral, but Burna. If they play Burna, we're in trouble here. To be quite honest, I think we can take that to avoid just getting extra value from the Burna. I think that's fair. We avoid the 4 points of the damage there, so... Okay. We got pass from Lippy. This is perfect. So it sucks that we have such a big card in hand. I kind of wanted to get rid of that, but here, we'll dump this back. I think we could do a bit better. We have 9 cards we could play. We could play these. I think that's the way we go about it. Get these out of the way, and then we go into round 3 with like a stacked hand. We'll see how it goes. Ursine alibi. Yeah. Always pick the torque. It's very important, okay?
Fine. If my coin's ranked to ye, go kiss a dog neath its
I'm trying to decide if I want to go in and take like the Fleen, right? Like, cause that could be. No, we don't. I don't think we push our luck here. We have a really good finisher of the game, so if all else fails, we know Torque's gonna be worth a ton. I wish we had something like Gord in the deck, but we just can't afford to. We'll put this away, I think. And realistically, we want 1 and 2. I'm pretty content if we pull either of those. I don't know how I feel about Circle of Life in round 3. I think Dunk is just a little bit better here. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have some cards we can buff. There's your Lippy. Take this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Muse to 5. And I want to play around Giga Scorpion. 1, 2, 3, and to be fair, this plays around Gutting. I'm willing to trade this for a Giga. This needs to be boosted to get something a little bit better. Okay. So we'll play Dunka. Now, since Phil is at 12, I'm considering just playing it to get Waters of Broccolon. I think that might be more points. Can't get that second heat wave back. Yeah, I think that's the play. We get the Harmony. Yeah. We'll do this. And then we'll put the Smuggler down, which will proc the Harmony. And we'll play our big point slams on range to play around like an Igni or a Yrden or something like that. Heatwave's out of the way, so I feel pretty confident about that. Oh, Nero. I don't really feel too threatened from Lippy in a long round, to be fair. Like, this is pretty much the bulk of the points. I think they're just trying to intimidate me. There we go. Let's start getting some hand buffs here. We want Aglaeus to get buffed, and we want Torque to get buffed, but we want to play... I think that's fine. We want to play these 6s. It's good tech.
Illusions. You've yet to see what they can accomplish.
Hey, listen here. Listen well.
So we'll roll this first. And I think we go for this so we can get the side boost. And then we'll space up the roll a little bit here. And I don't have a death blow, but I'm going to take this.
Nigh is the time of the sword and axe.
We don't even care about that. That's not really the points we came for. To be fair, I could just... I was thinking about taking... it's probably just better that we do get the points back. We'll rebuke this, and then just get the death blow so we can guarantee its torque. And so the Aglaeus right now is going to play, right? It'll boost by the 12. Because it's boosted by 6 currently, which is okay. And then we just dump this here because, you know, split up the... Sorry, boost by double the boost. Oh yeah, my bad, that's what I meant. It's not enough still. Harmony procs and all 70 to 45, pretty wild. So game 2, we'll see how we do against vampires here. There wasn't really a lot in the way of changes, I guess you could say, for monsters, but so we are starting with some of the good cards we need. I want to play around maybe getting these bled down, so we'll just tuck that back. Put back the Bountiful. I think we go for Simlas here. And being on red coin is perfect for this matchup. I can't stress enough that. So I kind of want to grade this a little bit. Play a special card with provision cost equal or lower. To be fair, I'm going to take one. I just don't want them to interfere with my my whole thing there. And I took the Caress instead of the Tempering just because I wanted to purify the card specifically. Maybe could have taken the Tempering there. But either way, it's like it's early in the morning, guys. Yeah, I don't think we're able to keep that one going. We tried. I do have really good reach with the Sursa here if I wanted to go and take that. But I think the correct play here is to just start getting some Bountifuls going.
You are no lunatic of mine.
You know what? This actually keeps it going for a bit longer. We don't have traps. We don't need this. Boost finale unit by 1. Sure. Kind of like the worst pull you can think of. And it's not roll locked, is it? There we go.
Broken. Oh, how so very unfortunate.
We're staying in the race here. I'm okay with giving the round up if it means we take all the cards with us later, so that's kind of the plan here. I'm willing to maybe go and spend Circle of Life and potentially Sursa. I think Sursa might be fair. They don't have Sabbath. Get a good Sursa early on. I just really hope that... Okay, that's not horrible. This will demand like a heat wave or something, literally. I would imagine that this is probably where I get passed on if I don't be careful here. So, do we care? No, I think we play this to win round if it comes down to it. I think we actually just take.
Fine. If my coin's ranked to ye, go kiss a dog neath its tail.
Perfect. One last little hand buff before it's over. Holy. If you want it that badly, you can have it for sure. I think we got what we need from this round here. We have a dry pass card. I kind of want to put back Circle. I don't think we're going to get much value from it. To be fair, there are a couple better options than the Miner here. Even that's not bad, I guess you could say.
Nothing rivals
Devotion. That's good.
so silky.
I think the Devotion version proved to be a little less strong. We'll take one. That's actually perfect, perfect odds here. This will take us ahead if they pass. And now they have to defend the card, but we don't have to worry about like all this crazy operator stuff and all types of weird things, right? So I think we should be okay. Without playing anything too crazy, I'm gonna go and play the Bountiful. I think we take damage here, don't we? Keep that within reach. I'm doing my best not to have to play something like this. I think this is like a win condition now at this point because it's 15 points. Okay, -2, 20. It's now or never with that. Of course. We take the Rebuke, because that's just a really good Rebuke. Well, that just takes over the Crimson. Or the Blood Moon, right? To be fair, they're putting everything out there. I think I just go ahead with something big at this point. We have to shut them down.
Hey there, come here.
Okay, so we got out of that round with 28 points on 2 cards. I'm feeling pretty good about that. 1 leader charge left. Rebuke's kind of nice here. I think Circle's a little bit greedy. I really want this. I just don't know if it's worth it. I really don't know if it's worth it. What if I just... What if I take away the Rebuke? Okay. It's not much better. They can't give this bleeding, so I think we just go in with this here. Well, there's also Parasite. But then this sticks, right? And we'll play the Pyrotech first before we take the Bountiful, just so that we have... That's a lot of bleeding. Yeah, we'll put this down so we can confirm. We don't get what we need, but I think we take the Purify here. Just because the circle is hitting armor.
Fitting gift for our king.
I mean, it's a fair trade. Either way, it's the same thing. This is going to be our second tallest unit, so we'll play that.
I ought to ram you.
Maybe they're trying to do the spear tip thing too. It's pretty cool. And then we got
You'll feel better.
big boost there. That should just be enough. So far, it's pretty consistent. We played 2 games, got 2 wins here. So we got another Ursine Ritual game. We like to see this round 1. We put back the Harvest here. This is okay to actually get some points in round 1. Circle's a little bit slow on blue coin. We have some engines going. That's pretty good. 2 is great. To be fair with the Bountifuls, I don't think I want this. There we go.
Got business for me.
We'll go and we'll boost this and keep it simple. So everybody just wants to play that one card, right? Curse of Corruption.
For the clan! For Skellige!
Okay.
You are no lunatic of mine.
Damage by 2, damage by 3. We can damage by 3, that's good. And that's pretty good too.
Your foot? Come on, give it a lash. Sing along.
We have to make a choice here. There is a running risk of losing on even if we continue to play, because I'm imagining that they're just going to slap down Cirrus and do that whole play. So the fact that we have an out here in the round is fine, and I think that's going to help us later. So I'm going to take it here. what was it, Bountiful? I don't think that's important. Okay. Not a lot of things I want to rebuke in this matchup, generally speaking, so I'm going to go ahead and put those back. There it goes. I think that's fine. We'll use 2 because it's going to be a deep round. We'll get started on this one here first. We play around like a Giga Scorpion and Delirium fairly well.
We shall do it my way.
Nothing like some overseas plundering in springtime.
So create equal to the power, we kind of want that. Just hope that they don't have 4 power removal here. We got to start really getting some things going here. Probably have to go in with the Force Protector next. Nice. Perfect pull too. I'm glad it was to the left side. And they start to slow down when the round gets longer, so that's kind of something I'm hoping for, is just to be able to get out of this, like, fairly easy. Something like that's a little bit annoying, we don't really have an answer to it. 36 and 29. If I was to go into... That's 3. I think we just keep playing.
Illusions. You've yet to see what they can accomplish.
You're coming with me. Dead
They've got all the
alive.
stops here, unfortunately. 43, okay.
Nigh is the time of the sword and axe.
Don't you pester me. What would you do?
We need like a 10 plus point turn kind of thing, so it's tough. There's consideration here to just play Sursa. Sursa isn't guaranteed though. So there's a little bit of a running risk of hitting something besides these two. But I think we just have to take that. Nice. So we have to take here.
Oi, hey there, come here.
Getting that heat wave out of the way is huge. Problem is they probably pass on me here, so we play Torque, we get ahead. We play Aglaeus, it's a bit over committing. So I think we have to play Torque.
This is not what we agreed.
So we'll dump that back. Pyro's okay. I think I'd rather... I guess at this point, it's probably one of the best things we could have.
You'll regret your mum ever squirting you out.
If we can avoid a heat wave or a Curse of Corruption, I think we should win the game. If I can't, then we're in really big trouble here. So we have to keep that in mind.
I could drown you in a single drop.
Need a good slapping. All together! Now! All together!
Uh-oh.
And I think I have to greed that at this point. Because we got to get the biggest Aglaeus possible. Please don't hit it.
Can be amusing.
Okay.
Crack and eat me ghoulies. Looky here. Never ever whistling on mine.
It all comes down to this last turn here. Perfect. I think we're good.
Listen here. Listen well.
Yeah, I think we're good.
The likes of overseas plumbing in springtime.
You'll be fine.
And I don't think we click this. Nice. So that'll do it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and comment to let me know what you think. What decks do you guys want to see more of this season? And what do you think of the patch so far? Let me know below, and we'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video.